Welcome to Butterfly Thoughts with Kelly Savage. Today I want to talk about something that has been sitting on my heart over the last several days. The gravity of a situation. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the weight of something doesn't hit you right away? They usually call it that adrenaline or focus, or you're just surviving. Sometimes we're simply trying to just get through the moment or that challenge. We're making decisions, we're solving problems, we're handling emergencies, we're doing what needs to be done. We're surviving. And because we're surviving, we don't always have the capacity to fully process what is happening while it's happening. Sometimes it takes hours, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. Sometimes we look back months later and suddenly realize just how significant a moment really was. That happened to me recently. I wasn't feeling well at all. In fact, I was in so much pain that I needed a CAT scan stat and couldn't even imagine driving myself. My husband, as he always does, told me he would come home and take me. Then the phone rang. I assumed it was him, but instead it was one of his friends. He gently explained that my husband had passed out, was incoherent, and thankfully both he and his wife were home. His wife happens to be a nurse. They brought him inside, immediately began caring for him, and thank God they were there. I made my way to their home, despite being in significant pain myself. I remember leaning over a countertop, trying to manage what I was feeling physically while still remaining calm mentally. Not because I wasn't scared, not because I wasn't concerned, but because the moment required me to remain calm. It required focus. It required action. My husband wasn't exactly eager to go to the hospital. But there are moments in life when love becomes firm. There are moments when caring for someone means making difficult calls. And I knew there was no discussion to be had. He was going. Thank God he was at least awake. Eventually, both of us ended up at the hospital that evening. The perfect storm. 2 people in pain. 2 people needing care. 2 people trying to get answers. That night wasn't about reflection. It wasn't about processing emotions. It was about getting through it. It was about pure survival. But several days later, after rest and recovery had begun, something unexpected happened. The gravity hit me. Not fear, not panic, but gratitude. Deep gratitude. Because the more we reflected on everything, individually and even together as we talked, the more we realized what could have happened. What if those friends hadn't been home? I would have never known he had passed out. And the pain that I was experiencing, I may not even been thinking about any of that. What if no one had seen him? What if help had been delayed? What if circumstances had unfolded differently? Because that was a sure possibility. See, sometimes gratitude comes when we begin to see what God protected us from. Not every blessing is something we receive. Sometimes a blessing is something that never happened. Sometimes God works behind the scenes long before we recognize his hand. As I reflected on this experience, I also thought about emotions. Emotions are not bad. God created them. Jesus himself expressed emotion. He wept. He rejoiced. He felt compassion. He felt grief. Emotions are often indicators, like a yellow traffic light. They slow us down and invite us to pay attention. They point towards something that may need prayer or healing, surrender or gratitude. The challenge comes when we allow emotions to lead instead of inform. Emotions make wonderful indicators. They make terrible drivers. God never asks us to deny what we feel. He invites us to bring what we feel to Him, to rest in Him, to trust in Him, to allow His peace to steady us. And sometimes that peace isn't loud. Sometimes it doesn't arrive with answers. Sometimes it simply arrives with His presence, a quiet assurance that He is with us, that He sees us, that He has never left us and never will. Looking back now, I find myself overwhelmed with gratitude. Gratitude for friendship, gratitude for help, gratitude for God's protection, gratitude that things were not worse, gratitude that God was present in every detail, even when I couldn't see it. Sometimes the gravity of a situation reveals fear. Sometimes it reveals loss. Sometimes lessons. And sometimes it reveals just how much we have to be thankful for. Today, I encourage you to reflect on your own life. Is there a situation you've been through that you haven't fully processed yet? Is there a moment where God's hand became visible only after the storm passed? Take a few moments today and reflect. You may discover gratitude very deep waiting for you on the other side. And that can become a beautiful thing. Because gratitude has a beautiful way of sparking more gratitude. And often, the deeper we understand the gravity of a moment, the deeper our appreciation becomes for the God who carried us through it. So I thank God and I thank our friends. Until next time, pause, reflect, choose, listen, download, and grow. Until next time.